A lot of paintings are famous, but not all famous paintings are equal. There are some that have reached stratospheric iconic status that even the most uninterested person in art can recognize works that reference them. Like this one. Most of us probably don't know the title, but we know that wave. By the way, it's called the Great Wave of Kanagawa. Some art pieces are so famous that Hollywood steals the concept. If you don't know the title, well, it's easy to guess. It's what the Home Alone kid is doing, or the actual title of this slasher film. And this painting, I don't have to tell you what this is referencing. You're not Pinoy if you don't recognize the long table and the selfie-like portrait. But in case you need one clue, yes, it's The Last Supper. But so far, we have only touched on foreign works of art. Can you think of any Pinoy art that has achieved equal iconic level? Well, probably not in the world, but in our country. If you said Amor Solo, just because he's the ultimate Pinoy artist, the quintessential Pinoy artist, well, you're right. And even if the tribute did not copy the Amor Solo pose, we still think of Amor Solo. When this scene appeared in the modern classic film General Luna, I remember gasping and almost wanted to stand in ovation. A little trivia for those who might not be aware. General Luna and Juan Luna were brothers. The pulling of the body is so famous that it's been interpreted by artists in an irreverent way. The scene has captured the imagination of the National Museum visitors that the museum has now forbidden mimicking it. Just between us, the art of copying the scene will help the sensibilities of the people to become more aware of the little details they would have easily overlooked if they would just stand beside the painting and smile at the camera. This Botong Francisco painting of Bonifacio may not be as popular in terms of reenactment, but it helps sear in our national consciousness that any Pinoy in white and red, wielding a bolo in one hand and a gun in another, has got to be undressed. This may be a bit fortunate for his legacy because this is the most famous surviving image that we have of Bonifacio. Far from the bolo wielding Katipunero. Now, we can't talk about Andres without bringing up Dr. Jose Rizal. Other than his famous profile, which was made iconic, at least to those who remember using the 2 peso bill, his execution is one of the most iconic poses. Philippine cinema reenacted it twice, in 1962 and in 1998. Now, I'm no historian, but Googling photos of the execution, this is the closest I got, and it looks nothing like what we have in mind. So, where did we get the figure arching back? Botong Francisco painting. If you're into Pinoy art, can you think of other iconic poses outside of Amor Solo that have captured the imagination of the nation? Difficult, isn't it? But this is not to say that there aren't any out there. Ang Kyukok's thinking man should be easy enough for anyone who wants to imitate it. Just grab a blanket and your bent calves a bell. Manansala's harana should be easy to mimic, especially during Christmas programs. Just make sure you have an old man and someone playing the harmonica. Stretch your neck to smell a fish and voila! You're an Anita Magsaysay-ho muse. Just dress ourselves in the same shades of colors and we're an email. Referencing our Pinoy art heritage is not so much about flattering our masters, but it's a subtle way of introducing our rich artistic heritage to an otherwise uninterested audience. Preserving our heritage is essential. Art is essential.